Hi Libra, welcome to your July 2019 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. I'm shuffling the cards. Sorry about not getting these done before the first, but it's been a strange week to say the least. I don't know about you, I'm just speaking for myself. I feel like I slipped into a different dimension, let's put it that way. Ooh, so far lots of major arcana cards. Wow. Maybe something going on with Leo. Another one. Whoa. So I shouldn't be surprised because since you're a cardinal sign and July we have the two eclipses and they're in cardinal signs, so they definitely impact a Libra person. So actually this is going to affect your career sector, the solar eclipse and then the lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is on July 2nd, the lunar eclipse is on July 16th, and that's going to affect your home life. And when I say affect, this could be internally. This doesn't have to be like an event that occurs. The heart of the matter is the Temperance card. 1 foot in water, 1 foot on land, the spiritual and the material. And we do have the High Priestess, so there's your spiritual. And this can be a situation, again, if we look at the eclipses, maybe those are the themes for you of home and family versus career matters. That could be just one example. And depending on where this falls for you, I mean, it may not be in that 10th house, but in any case, the Temperance card is about balance, and Libra wants balance. Libra is always searching for balance, but sometimes I feel like Libra is very imbalanced in searching for balance, because whenever you're looking for something and thinking that you need to find something outside of yourself, that's usually a sign that you're barking up the wrong tree, because it all starts from within. Balance, you know, when people say, I'm striking a good work and personal life balance, they're really giving more attention to things that don't involve outer praise, outer recognition. And for cardinal signs, they tend to be achievers, sometimes overachievers, and sometimes part of that overachievement is an addiction to praise, because the person wants to feel accepted, like they're on the right path, like they're doing the right thing, and getting that pat on the head can give them that, or they think it gives them that. And what I would say to that, Libra, is to look out for the need for approval in any place, whether it's in the workplace or in your home life, your personal life, because it's not about pleasing others. It's about pleasing yourself and becoming who you were meant to be. So letting go of an identity crisis, coming from that position of wanting another person to define you in some way. The Temperance card connects to Sagittarius. So if there's a Sagittarian in your life, perhaps July is going to be a very significant month for the two of you. You have some good cards around this Temperance card. We have the Nine of Cups in the past position, wish fulfillment. So this is getting what you want, having your wishes come true about something recently, and maybe that has thrown you into kind of like a manic state. What if you have been, having a crush on somebody and they noticed you and now you're dating that person and you're in this euphoric situation, and the Temperance card would be kind of like, hey, keep on an even keel here. Don't lose yourself in love. But it can simply be that in the past position, the Nine of Cups can be saying that something good has happened. And then the higher message is the Sun card, which is great too. Which to me means you're deserving of these things. That you need to really remember that you are deserving of these things. And not to be too, don't be too ready to wait for the other shoe to drop. Sometimes I think Libra in relationship tends to be quite nervous and wanting that person to be like committed to them, because you rule that house of commitment, the 7th house. So that is something that most Libras, and I'm saying most because let's say your moon is in Sagittarius or Gemini, you may be more willing to play the field and not settle down right away. But for most Libras, their end game, their goal, is to have a committed partnership with somebody. And so the problem is that you might want it too prematurely, and that scares people off, or you're attracted to people that have a hard time committing, and because you are an air sign, you may be attracted to air signs and fire signs, and they tend to be the least likely to settle down. Not that they can't, but they might not be as readily into that. And so you must be okay with that. You can't get upset that somebody isn't doing what you want them to do. That's one of the things about self-confidence. Yeah. By the way, this is another thing that the Sun represents. It represents, loving yourself, being confident within yourself. And sometimes I think Libra acts insecure in this regard, where they're really wanting that relationship, and if they sense resistance in the other person, that can throw you into a tizzy, because you're like, then you start to question yourself, whether you're good enough, and that can lead to behaviors that are kind of neurotic and clingy, like, wanting that other person to always be there. If you have Venus and Scorpio, God help you, because then you're going to be even more suspicious. They must be cheating. If they don't want to slow down, what are they doing? And that can spiral out of control as well. These two cards flanking the Temperance card could be cards suggesting career success, that you deserve it, that it's your time. The Temperance card, maybe you've recently gotten sober, and and then you were able to attract good to you. Maybe that's why we have the Nine of Cups. Now, the Temperance card is talking about the current state of affairs. It doesn't mean, the Temperance card does not mean that somebody is not experiencing what the Nine of Cups represents. Even though that's in the past position, it could still be something that's true for you, where you are experiencing some of the things that you have wanted for a long time to come to pass to you. And so The 11th house is the house of hopes and wishes, and I could definitely possibly connect that Nine of Cups to the 11th house, and Leo is your 11th house. So the Leo activation, the new moon at the end of the month, Mars is in the 11th all month long for you. So that could be something that you're very driven about, that you really want to finally make your dreams come true. What crosses you is the Fool card. The Fool card in the challenge position could be that you are thinking too conventionally about something. So maybe an example of this would be, let me just use the example of you've gotten sober. If you continue to associate with certain people, it may be very hard to, maintain your sobriety. But you may just come from an environment where you just feel like you have to be hanging out with certain people. Maybe you're afraid of disappointing them, hurting their feelings. But you run the risk of falling off the wagon, let's say. The Fool is about willing to start totally afresh. And being unconventional, thinking outside the box, doing something that is very individualistic. For Libra, this is not always an easy thing to do. Libra likes that general consensus. Libra wants it's just like it's such a common trait for a Libra person to say, what do you think about this or that to another person? Because it's like they don't trust their own perceptions, which I think is really something to work on. If you find that you're asking other people's advice a lot, or not even advice but input, Libra, like, do you like what this looks like? You should know what you like. It doesn't matter if somebody else thinks the color of your house is tacky. What difference does that make? If you painted it that color and you like it, then it is what it is. Now, I can see asking a neighbor, does this color irritate you? Because you have to see it every day. Maybe that would be the one exception. But just asking people that do you think that I made the right choice in color? It's not something concrete. Everybody has their own take on has their own taste and take on certain subject matters. So that's just very strange, when people are asking others, what do you think of this dress? Well, you bought the dress, don't you know your own mind? I'm not saying that all Libras do this, but Libra is a very other-oriented sign, and sometimes that can be wonderful. Libra people work very well with others, typically, and they can present a great image themselves. It's just that you really need to be about something and not be coming from a place of general consensus, but striking your own path. And that's what the Fool card in the upright position represents. The advice is the King of Wands, which is, I'm going to just tell you what came into my mind. Growing a pair. The King is obviously the symbol of power. Wands is the fire element. So again, this may be like a Sagittarian, specifically going back to that Temperance card that you're dealing with, and it's reiterating that. But the King of Wands is taking charge of yourself, because that's all you can take charge of. You can't control other people, Libra. And really being willing to stand for something. That saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. The King of Wands is ultimate confidence, not cockiness, not lording your power over others, but having that personal power. And if you feel like you don't have personal power, try to figure out ways to strengthen your third chakra. I recommend a book called, it's something like Western Mind, Eastern Heart or something, and it's about the psychology combined with the chakra system. And you know, the author, I don't know how she, her last name is Judith. You can just type in Judith Chakras. She has another book just on the chakra system that's magnificent, and she even offers different exercises you can do, physical things you can do to activate that chakra, to balance it, or to like activate it if it's too low. So with the third chakra, a low third chakra would be people who have a hard time asking for what they want, who can't say no, who allow people to take advantage of them on a regular basis and things like that. The outcome is a high priestess, and to me, I go back to that sun card of knowing, you know, that's another thing about the sun card, knowing who you really are. And the sun card is more of the outside part of, you know, if you're experiencing success, but you have a fear of losing it. Do you understand that you have an identity that goes beyond a particular place of employment, a job title, and things like that? And, you know, the sun card is about being able to shine your light, which is unique to you, onto the world, in the world, without feeling like you're overshadowing somebody else. The high priestess is about connecting to your higher self. It's a passive energy. The sun is a masculine force, so it's more active, it's outer. So the combination of these two can lead you to success and lead you to a feeling of peace. Because since Libra is a cardinal sign, you do, and you know, it's funny, this is a month of your career with solar eclipse in that 10th house, of really shining your light in the world. But the high priestess is internalized energy. So it's about knowing that you're not a human doing, but a human being. And that even if you have all of this success, because the sun can also indicate success too, in the outer world, that you're still able to balance yourself and know who you really are. Because sometimes, you know, having great success can be a challenge to one's balance too. Can make people a bit manic, a bit, I don't know, cocky and not tuned in enough. And the high priestess is about tuning in. Okay, Libra, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.